All right, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, we are, or I guess today I am, your Colorado real estate family. Riding solo. Chelsea's not with me today, so we'll see how this goes. All right, cool guys. We're gonna bring in a great video today. Say you're wanting to move into Denver metro area, or let's just say Denver, right? But you don't really want to experience the congestion and everything that comes with Denver. Well, what other options are for you? And we're really gonna dig into some cities closest to Denver that might be good for you. Let's go. All right, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Pete Sweeney, and what we like to do on this channel is give you your boots on the ground expert advice in regards to Colorado, Denver, and all of its surrounding cities. Like I said, guys, and there's some people moving into the state, and if you are planning on moving into the state, you want the latest insights, the latest happenings of what's going on in the state, right? Where should I move? What would be good for me? And we would like to hit on all that. With that, also a licensed real estate agent here helping you with all your real estate needs. I'm helping so many of you guys out on a constant basis all the time, helping you get to where you need to be. All right, so this video we're gonna do a little bit different. I'm gonna test it out a little bit because me personally, I'm a visual person, right? I like to be able to kind of watch stuff. That's why when we're making these videos for you guys, we try and throw in as much B-roll, as much as video as possible, so you can kind of get your eyes on what we're talking about. But this one, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a map video. And so what I'll do is I'm gonna jump over to the map and really kind of give you some visuals for the cities that are surrounding Denver and what we're talking about. We're gonna kind of talk about commutes, price points, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and hop over to the map. All right, guys. So as you can see, we're here at the map now, and you see Denver. I've got it starred right here for you. We're gonna go ahead and pretty much go in a clockwise direction, starting first one with Arvada. So Arvada, here we go right here. This is definitely one of the furthest west cities. It and Lakewood are pretty much similar, but Arvada is a little bit more north than Lakewood is. So got Arvada right there. We're gonna go over a few stats, and these same stats that I'm gonna go over with all of these cities. So just so you know, we're gonna go over three things, and I'll kind of fill you in on a little bit, you know, with maybe some video footage, some drone footage, and some personal experiences or some other things you may not know about these cities from a local's perspective. So Arvada, Colorado, let's go ahead and go over it. You're looking at like a 20 to 30 minute drive from Denver. Expect that to be a lot longer, obviously, if you have traffic. You know, I-70 right here, which is the main highway that kind of goes into Arvada from Denver. It takes a little bit longer when it's congested during those that rush hour time. So it could take, you know, anywhere from 30 to maybe even an hour to get into Arvada from Denver. Next thing we're going to go over is the population of Arvada. In Arvada, we're looking at 123,825. Now, this is pretty much your projected for 2022, but you know, you're looking at it's not a bad sized city. It's definitely not the largest one that we're going to be covering, but it's good to know kind of what the population is from the city going into from Denver. All right, the other thing we're going to cover is the median sales price. And obviously, I always talk about this because I say, you know, we go over the median sales price. What did homes sell for? And this one is based off February of 2022. You're looking at a median sales price of $630,000. So that's what you're kind of looking at in regards to, you know, if you're going to purchase a home for your median sales price. All right, so the next city that we're going to really be covering is Westminster, Colorado. So if you've watched any of our previous videos, I've talked about how I kind of bounced back and forth between Arvada and Westminster growing up as a kid. So these are kind of my stomping grounds right here, right? And so what are you looking at is in regards to distance from Denver? You're looking at like a 25 to 35 minute drive. So a little bit further than Arvada, not too bad. But I will say from my personal experience, I think that during rush hour, you're going to get up to Westminster a lot quicker just because you could take 25 and then straight 36 out, where 70 right here going into Arvada could get pretty busy. So just like I said, from my personal experience, Westminster, when it comes to rush hour, might be a lot better. Now, another thing I wanted to kind of mention about these two cities is you do have light rail stations in both cities. So Arvada, you know, it's near downtown. Westminster, you have one, and then with a second station coming in near the new downtown Westminster. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, because like I said, if this whole video is all about living in cities outside of Denver, with maybe in mind that you're working in Denver, right? So it's like, if I'm working in Denver, but I want to live on the outskirts of these cities, having that light rail station is huge if you're going to have to commute down into Denver for that job or wherever workplace that you're planning on working at. Another thing we're going to look at is the population, which is 112,983. So a little bit smaller than Arvada, not by much. I mean, you know, it's about a 10,000 person difference. So nothing crazy. And whenever you're experiencing these two cities, they do feel pretty similar in size. I would say that Westminster actually feels like it's a little bit more heavily populated when we're talking about that downtown Westminster area. But I mean, overall, it looks like, you know, we're pretty close in regards to population. All right, you got your median sales price, which is $566. So, you know, you're looking at, it's definitely a less of a, or it's definitely a cheaper price point than your Arvada area in regards to February of 2022, that your median sales price was $566. All right, cool. We're going to keep on moving this way. Next city we're going to cover. Well, actually, before I cover this next city, why am I not covering Thornton? Because there are a ton of videos that we do that constantly cover Thornton. Thornton technically does not touch Denver. I mean, there are a few parts, you know, like around 84th, right in here, that Denver and Thornton do touch, but I think it's a little further north. I really wanted to cover the cities that are the close to Denver in regards to your commute. And I'm gonna tell you right now that, like, sometimes when you're driving, once you pass this kind of I-25 in the 76 cross section right here, traffic is horrible in this little corridor right here. I mean, we're going all the way up, and it used to be, you know, traffic was really bad up until 120th, but recently with, you know, more people kind of moving into Colorado, it's become worse, and so it goes all the way up to like 136. So during that rush hour between here and here, and it's actually, I mean, it extends further down to here, but it gets really bad here because you have everyone from 270 merging onto I-25 North, 76, you know, you got all these highways kind of merging. So this definitely gets super congested. Didn't want to cover that. Like I said, I really wanted to cover these cities that were a little bit better of a commute, especially during rush hour when it comes to going into Denver. So next city we're going to cover, obviously, Commerce City. So Commerce City, we haven't covered this in a while. Let's go and look at the traffic. So you're looking at 34 minutes. Like I said, that's outside of rush hour from the commute time from Commerce City into Denver. Population of 66,372. So this is by far the smallest city that we're going to be covering. And then you got a median sales price of $541. Now I'm going to tell you right now, and we've mentioned this in our Commerce City video. So if you haven't watched our Commerce City video, highly recommend go checking it out. Is that this northern portion of Commerce City up here is called Reunion. And that's a big reason why this price point is as high as it is. Because if you go into the southern part of Commerce City, which is a little bit more industrial, your price point is going to be a lot lower. So it's something to kind of keep in mind when we're talking about Commerce City on the north side of the Rocky Mountain, this Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge. That's kind of where your Reunion, you know, and they also have a few other areas up there that Buffalo Run that are going to have your newer housing, and that's why that price point's driven up a little bit more. Otherwise, you're going to have a lower price point down here in southern Commerce City. Next one we're going to be talking about, which is going to be the largest city that surrounds Denver, Aurora, Colorado. This is one of the largest cities in the state as well, too. Aurora is definitely, I mean, it's, so you're looking at 35 to 45 minutes. That's to the heart of Denver. You know, Denver, if you're like kind of on this, on the east side of Denver, it touches Aurora. So of course it's not going to take that long, but if you're looking, going to the heart of Aurora, you're looking at like 35 to 45 minutes. This is what I'm saying. It's one of the largest cities that we're discussing right now.
population of 393,440. So it's definitely, I mean, compared to especially these two cities, you know, it's 3 times as large. Your median sales price is $510, so this is one of the cheapest ones that we're going to be covering. And Aurora, because it's so large, it's definitely diverse when we talk about the style of neighborhoods that you're looking at. And so if you're kind of going more on the eastern side, maybe you see Buckley Air Force Base out here, this eastern side of Aurora is all a lot newer, and you have 470, the highway. Actually, you can't see it in this, but it's going to be, if you go out here a little bit, all this area out here to the east is going to be like newer, whereas, you know, kind of this portion of Aurora is going to be your older housing. And so it's going to bring it down a little bit more. But Aurora, I mean, like I said, it's just one of those beasts of a cities that many people are definitely moving into right now. And it's a great city just close to Denver. Next one we're going to cover is a smaller city. It's Inglewood, and Inglewood is just south. You're looking at 15 to 20 minutes, so obviously pretty damn close to Denver. You know, it's like the south side. There's even parts of Inglewood you wouldn't even know you're in Inglewood. You pretty much feels just like Denver, so something to kind of keep in mind. So this one is by far, sorry, I thought Common City was our smallest. Inglewood is population 35,598, so one of our small cities. I'd consider it more of like maybe a neighborhood of Denver. It is its own city, but that's kind of what it feels like when you're experiencing the city in Colorado. And then you got your median sales price of $575, you know, so not bad. You know, it's definitely higher than Westminster, but not quite as high as, you know, somewhere like Arvada. So something to kind of keep in mind. It's a little bit, you know, it's not bad. Like I said, when you're down there, you're near the tech center. And so just south of here, you're going to be running into Highlands Ranch on the west side of I-25. On the other side, you'll be having Centennial. Something to kind of keep in mind. But yeah, like I said, not a bad little city by any means. All right, guys, then we're going to wrap it up. We're going to finish off with Lakewood, Colorado, which if you haven't checked out our Lakewood videos, I highly recommend go checking them out. We dive in a little bit deeper on this city, but this is an amazing city that I truly love. Another one of those cities that borders the Front Range right here, right? So we talk about the foothills all coming up and in here. And so it borders the Front Range similar to Arvada does. So if you want that access into the mountains, this is definitely one of those great cities to kind of be in. And they have a lot of great recreation there as well too. You have, let's see, I'm not seeing here, but you have Green Mountain, which I believe is right here. Great little mountain to go mountain biking on, which I used to always do. Yep, that's it. So 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, Denver's right here, and you take 6 all the way over, and Lakewood is just all on the south side of 6 right here. Super easy commute. Another one of those cities that we talk about that also does have that light rail. I mean, they have a few stations in Lakewood, so they pretty much run just along Colfax, which is, I'm not gonna be able to find it on this map, but anyways, you have a light rail station that pretty much just goes straight this way into Lakewood. And so another option for those commutes, if you do want to live in Lakewood but want to commute to Denver without having to take a car, you got a population of 161,694, which looks like it's our second largest city that we're going to be covering. It's a great city though, guys. Like I said, I mean, towards the east side of Lakewood over here, obviously it's going to be a little bit more, you know, urban style, where if you go over in here, you're going to be closer to the foothills. So something to kind of really keep in mind. What are we looking at for price points? $578. So you can kind of see a trend. You know, a lot of these are kind of in the highs. This is like in the mid 4 or 5s, lower 5s. Closer you get to the mountains, I mean, that's where you're going to get those higher price points. Inglewood definitely have an exception to that, but I mean, the closer you are to the foothills, it's just a desirable area, so people really want to be there with that, you know, supply and demand. You're going to probably paying a little bit more for a house in regards to that.
All right, cool. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Hey, do me a quick favor. If you could please, you know, throw in the comments below, or even if you throw us a text on the phone number I'm going to throw in right below, right here, right now. What'd you think about that style of video? Because like I said, I liked being visual, or I am super visual myself. Was that beneficial to you? If you think so, like I said, let us know. I'll make sure that we do more of those map style videos. You know, that way it's kind of beneficial for you guys. Also, if you could do me a quick favor, thumbs up, subscribe button, and that notification bell. That way you're constantly notified on the latest happenings happening in Denver and its surrounding cities. Until next time, we love you. Bye.